Welcome back and thanks for joining me today. On this fine day, December 2nd of 2022, I am out with my Kodak EasyShare Z-990 MAX replete with duct tape to keep the batteries in the hatch. Sometimes with these Kodaks, when they switched to the AA system in the bridge cameras from the lithium-ion battery pack systems, the hatch covers became a bit more flimsy and more temperamental, which in my opinion was a poor move. But at that point, Kodak was starting to sizzle down, and I think at some point it was sold to some other company conglomerate. But anyway, I am out here today to photograph and capture some images of some pine trees. As I might have mentioned in previous videos, I love pine trees. So today I thought it'd be a great day to go out and take a look at some of the pine trees around the Reffitt Nature Preserve property. Today I also brought along my Golden Field Guide, Trees of North America. In this video I want to not just capture images of the pine trees, I also want to provide some maybe new information to you guys about some of these species within the nature preserve here at Reffitt. By far one of my favorite species of pine trees is the white pine, also known scientifically as the Pinus strobus. When I was in 6th grade, we had an instructor or teacher that would always tell us the names of these trees, and he would always say, "It's the Pinus strobus." I thought it was hilarious. So right now I am on my way to one of my favorite white pines within the Reffitt Nature Preserve area. It's a bit of a walk from here, so I will be back in a minute and I will introduce one of my favorite white pines to you guys. Oh, that is deep. It's a good thing I have my waterproof Adidas on. Oh my goodness gracious. Right into the drink. Oh my gosh. Well, shoes are only waterproof until it goes over the cuff of the top of the shoe, I suppose. Alright, so for me it's been about 20 minutes since the last clip where my shoes got soaked in the ice. The white pine is coming up in just a moment. It is right here. Let's see here. There it is. It's right there. Alrighty, so now that we're here, let's learn something about the white pine. There's a white spruce, definitely not a spruce. There's a larch, a tamarack, those are cool. Pitch pine, Jeffrey pine, ponderosa pine, sand pine, red pine, those are cool too. White bark. Here we are. Eastern white pine. Like I said, it's the Pinus strobus. Let's see here. Okay, let's see here. Here's an interesting fact, and it really makes sense because Reffitt is primarily a wetland area near the coastline of East Bay. The white pine prefers moist, sandy loam soils, often forms pure stands, which can be attested to because at the entrance to Reffitt, there's definitely stands of them present, and I think is one of the most predominant trees in the area. So now I am faced with the dilemma of how to photograph this beautiful white pine. It's hard to get closer because the light's so flat that I can't really capture its grandeur, so I might have to walk off a little bit further down the trail to really capture the essence of this beautiful sentinel of the woods. Alright, so I've settled on a composition. I've really struggled with this one. The lights become quite flat, and the dimension I wanted to capture earlier with the sun peeking behind the clouds has of course changed. But nonetheless, we'll press forward. This will not be by any means my most impressive composition, but to me it means something, and that's what matters as a photographer, and the images you capture, they have to mean something to you. So right here is that white pine. There's another one right here, and then there's some hardwoods right over here. This is the composition. f8.0, focus to infinity, ISO is 125 because that's the minimum of this camera. And here we go. Next on my list is either a jack pine or a white cedar. I am not quite sure because it depends on how the composition will suit my desires or not. So we are on our way over to our next spot, which will take a couple minutes. My next subject will, turns out, be a white cedar stand, which is surrounding me right now. I just read a bit about the white cedar in this guide, and I think I want to highlight a couple of the last sentences. And I didn't know either of these things. All right, let's see here. They can go up to 40 to 50 feet tall, which I'm not surprised about. The ones in this preserve are quite large. And even more interesting is that they are nicknamed arborvitae, or tree of life, because of the tea made from the foliage, and the bark is rich in vitamin C, and I did not know that. For my next image of this white cedar, I am going to capture an image of just a single little area of the tree. I'm not going to capture a grand landscape. It's just going to be this little area, this little rascal right here. I'm going to shoot this way because the light's coming this way, and it creates a little bit of a glow on the outer edges of the structure. That right here. No, where did it go? I turned it off. All right. So for this image, I'm going to go to my macro mode in the camera, or maybe I should use super macro, which lets you focus even closer to the subject, literally almost right up to the subject like that. That's pretty darn cool. Not macro, super macro. And I need to adjust my aperture from f8, and I'm going to stop. I'm going to open up my aperture as much as I can because I want the background to be a bit more discreet, my gosh, more blurry, I guess. I haven't talked today. Might even get some bokeh behind here. Ooh, fancy. No. Before I head off to my third and final location today, just wanted to show this Kodak Z-990 beauty off. I think it's a pretty neat model in the Z series lineup. Not their best, I don't think, but at this point they were catching up with the full HD video. They had a backside illuminated sensor finally on there. Ergonomics are more spot on. The design is more serious. And I will note, and for any of those of you that are diehard Kodak fans out there, this is definitely not what the lens barrel looked like. This is a custom mod that I made on this camera myself. So when the lens comes out, when I record video with it, I can actually not have to cover it up and have stuff get on the lens, which is something that happens when it's not covered up like that. Overall, it's a pretty cool battery system, body. You know, it's the double A's, which I said have its downsides because the hatch cover sucks a little bit more. But then again, the design lets you use common batteries instead of more proprietary ones. And there's my fancy duct tape fix right there. It does the job. I'm on my way to my third and final location. I wanted to photograph one of my favorite stands of red pines. But before I get there, I want to mention that Reffitt Nature Preserve is also a great area for bird watchers. If you love watching birds in the natural habitat, come here. You'll not be disappointed, especially in the spring near the vernal pool. This is it behind me. There's a stand of red pine here. And if you look closely, up in about maybe 10-20 feet up, there's a series of cavities that have been excavated by woodpeckers over the years. And there are squirrels up there right now, and I'm betting any money that they're using those cavities to the best of their advantage to survive this winter season. And speaking of bark, here it is now. And this is that scaly diamond type structure that the book refers to. It's often seen at the base of the tree sometimes when it grows, or if a squirrel scuffles up or something, or some rascal of a person decides to come over and knocks them off because they can. But this is the red pine bark, and this is what I'm going to photograph using macro mode on my camera today. All right, let's see here. I misspoke. I think I'm going to utilize super macro today instead of just macro. Let's see here. Infinity, no. No. Autofocus, no. Macro, no. Super macro. The same as I used on that close-up shot of the white cedars. I'm going to rest my hand right on here. My ISO is 400. F-stop is 3.6. White balance is auto if that matters to you at all. That's interesting, but no. And I'm going to shoot about just like this. Nope, I don't like that either. I think I'm going to end it here today. As I always say, just get out there and enjoy every moment you can and make the moment you have out in the wilderness, in the woods, or anywhere the best you can. Reffitt Nature Preserve is a great area to go in town if you don't have a ton of time. You just want a quick walk, especially with your dog. But anyway, thanks so much for watching. And if you like this video, please check out all my other videos. I have a bunch of other ones about cameras and photography and nature and random thoughts and whatnot. And of course, until next time, as I always say, get out there and make the ordinary extraordinary. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time.